Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. We are COVID haircut edition. The barbers are open again in London, so I've been able to get myself trimmed slightly, which is a very, very welcome thing. It's been slightly over a week since I last played, so let's just have a quick reminder of where we are. So we're looking to level legendary gems up to 25. We've also got to go to the realm of pain, suffering, dread, etc, etc. Putridness. Set dungeon, butcher, Iswal. Okay, butcher and Iswal, they're relatively straightforward, but legendary gems is really where the magic's going to be. At the moment we have Bane of the Powerful in there. I think I'll keep Bane of the Powerful in there until we can get a few more levels into Bane of the Trapped. Once it gets up to rank 25, we'll move it across. But at the moment, that 20% increased damage is going to be better than what we have going elsewhere. Oh yeah, we can do great. How many greater keystones have we got? We've got 2. We're running at Torment 9 at the moment, so yeah, this is going to be fine. Oh, that was probably a bit of a mistake, getting that going right away. So, jumping straight in, I did do some investigation. The disintegrate skill you have as an Archon, it has a different name, and it's specifically designed not to count as disintegrate. So that is not going to work for us in the way we wanted. So we do have to decide at some point whether we want to keep with the whole Archon plan or do something else. I do like Archon, it's a really, really fun thing, but if we don't go with Archon, then getting Chandotto stuff isn't really relevant anymore. And we could do something else. I mean, we could even like do a 6-4 combination of Firebirds and Talset. Maybe we'll have to see how it goes. There's lots of options for us anyway. We don't need to make these decisions quickly, and it's always going to be based on what the game decides it's going to give us in terms of equipment. For those of you wondering where my companion is, Amos is here. He's woken up. He's down, all looking at his food bowl. He's got a little perch that I call his throne that he's sat on at the moment. Unfortunately, it's just out of camera shot, so you're not going to be able to see him. And if I reposition the main camera so you can, you'll see how terribly untidy the rest of the room is. So let's not do that. Speed pylon, right, let's Archon it up. Exploding! Not exploding particularly powerfully, but we are exploding. Just for a little bit of time. Exploding, exploding, exploding. Keep these things exploding. Exploding, exploding, exploding. Wizard. It's just the liberal application of disintegrate across everything. That's really what I love about this, because then they just burn to death. We can do other things to improve our damage output, which will obviously increase the amount of damage they're taking. But you know, once we've touched them, we don't need to think about them again. It's literally fire and forget, because we're setting them on fire. I'm not even sorry for that one. I'm actually quite happy with that. Yeah, so we've got plenty of time in this rift based on how it's all going. And actually, based on how our survivability is feeling, we could probably put the difficulty up a little bit if we wanted. Because we're going to be getting a lot of levels very quickly doing this. It'll really depend on how the Rift Guardian feels. That's always going to be the point of contention. Explode, explode, explode. And on we... No! Oh, back. That was a waste of time. A thorough waste of time. Now, obviously, the more different types of elemental damage we do, the more our general damage output goes up. So there is an incentive for us to occasionally put out these blizzard bits. But generally speaking, I'd say everything's going tickety-boo. Let's get... Oh god, no. Explode! I will explode at you. You think you've got me? You don't have me. I've got 3 cheat deaths. You ain't never taking this wizard dead. I will always be alive. Mixing sayings left, right, and centre there. But it does come on to a very valid point. If the Rift Guardian is not too difficult, then we should consider putting the difficulty up, just because we have those extra cheat deaths available to us. So it'd be a shame not to try and take advantage of that safety net to get better stuff, as long as our killing speed is fine, and it is fine at the moment. I mean, we can so comfortably get to 3 different types of damage output. Oh, shield pilot as well. Hold on while I just nuke everything. I want the Rift Guardian. Here we go. We've got plenty of time for this. Cold snap. Look at that extra increase in damage. There we go. Alright, that was a bit of a disruption because of that shield pylon at the end, but I'm pretty certain we can put the difficulty up. Bane of the Trap. Sure. That's where this is all going. Ooh, look, we got a better furnace. I say better, it might not be better, but we got a bigger furnace. So let's hand this in. Garrigan level 101. So how many did we get there? So many. So many. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels. Interesting. Oh, so it's just better as a flat if we swap over to it. But if I get a socket into it instead of that 20% area damage, then this is going to be a 34% damage increase, which is huge. I mean, it's monumental. Kadala. Sorry, Miriam, not Kadala. I'm tired. I'm tired, that's my excuse. Okay, we can... This is not a good use of our Forgotten Souls. This is not a good use of our Forgotten Souls. We don't need to do this. Let's just swap it over and be done with it. Heart of Iron, that's great. Taguk, That's probably one we're actually going to use. Increase damage when we spend resource on a channel skill. We are using channel skills, so I'm going to put our best options over here. So we've got 2 offensive ones. That's good. Also, this is partly defensive, so I do like it as well. Another Talrash's Orb. That comes down here. And that Arc Stone is intriguing. If we could get another one, it becomes a lot more interesting. So for now, let's put it over here. So these are the things that if we get another one of them, they start becoming interesting for us. Okay, we are talking to Kadala about rings. That's what we're doing. And getting disappointed, which is not that much of a surprise. The game has been generous to us thus far, so you'll not hear me complaining. And seeing as we have a spare, let's go in and do another Greater Rift. We can definitely fly through these quite quickly, I'd say. He says hitting something that's not dying quickly and nicely, of course. Can't wait until I get Chandotos. I'm still really keen on doing it. I know it's not going to be as useful to us, but really, really keen. Oh, hello. Well, let's just max out our damage output and burn everything asunder. There we go. And seeing as we have this huge amount of shield, there's nothing to stop us pushing on and just murdering everything inside. I think if we do go too far away from stuff, then it'll turn itself off. But most things should die at a reasonable time frame. That's just really rude. I want to be blasting them and they've gone and put up walls. And that was not a brilliant teleport down. Yeah, if we're not careful, we can get ourselves in trouble. But it's very, very stable at this level, so we can definitely push up to Torment 10. That is what the game is telling me. And when Diablo talks, I listen. Not like the demon, but the game. Oh yeah, set them all on fire. And let's arc on up for a little bit. So it's all good, but I am noticing that the Archon mode is not really giving us the killing power that we want, especially with Tal's set that we've got on. I am definitely going to keep it because, you know, it's the whole point is so we can get Chandottos and start working that way. But I might start looking into Veer's set and see if there's anything we could do to combine that with what we're going to end up with. Let's just back away from all those arcane beams. Feels like victory to me. That's how it feels. Now, of course, each type of elemental damage we're doing is improving our resistances as well. So that number that you see down there, down on the elemental symbol there is a very good reason for us to try and keep that high. Doesn't necessarily help with physical damage against us if something gets into melee, but this is why we're going to have things to improve our armor. Well, nothing up in this corner, so let's move around. Now, an important thing to note about the Tal set is the damage that it gives you is additive. So when it increases your damage by 2,000%, if you're already doing 3,000 per second, it's not going to multiply that up. It's not going to like super scale it. It will be added on top. So it's not scalable to the same level as the Legacy of Nightmares stuff is. That being said, it's still going to be a big ass amount of damage that gets added on, so that's why we're constantly doing it. No thank you. Right, so that's 3 damage types, and look at Ferendi's health going down. No, let's explode on you. Just to get it done. Ooh, a whole bunch of things. And the Gem of Ease. Well, if we really wanted to push the Garrigan levels, then that'd probably be the way to do it. But I don't think so. It's interesting that it now gives the leaderboards an indication for what you were wearing. I do very much like that. It's very good to be able to see at a glance what there is. Alright, another 10 levels. So 3 in there, 2 in there, 3 in there, 2 in there. In terms of Greater Keystones, we are out. So let's just talk to Kadala very quickly about rings.
That is too expensive.
And then we'll change the difficulty up and we'll go exploring. Interesting. Well, you're getting Creed's Flame. Taking fire damage restores your primary resource. That's not something I would expect to emanate. But it's good that it does. Shame with Delcir, I like it. We're not using signature spells, so it's not going to be part of this build. And Dario's Visage, it's cool. And Tal's Relentless Troubles, it's not a particularly good one. Low intelligence, high-ish vitality, low attack speed, familiar damage which we don't care about. Our current one is actually probably as good as it's going to get, looking at it. Still, we have a spare to re-roll at some point, so we'll keep it. Yeah, Band of Hollow Whispers. It doesn't matter that it's in the ancient one. Gem of Bees, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this across over here. Right, let's salvage our stuff up, and then we will change difficulty. Let's have a look and see how Torment 11 feels. It might feel terrible, but because we're just going to be running a regular Rift, it's fine if it feels terrible. We'll just like back out and drop it down. Cormac, I'm expecting you to keep me alive here, okay? This is a terrible place for us to be testing stuff. Okay, so we're able to kill stuff. That's good. It does feel kind of terrible, though. Yep, very terrible. This is why we test first. Riker. Riker didn't defeat me. It was a tactical retreat. What do you mean, Amos? Okay, so Torment 10 is going to be significantly easier to manage, but we're still going to have to be a little bit careful. Just in the fact that stuff can, like, really barrel into you. I think the step up from Torment 10 to 11 is significantly more than the one from 9 to 10. So there's always going to be that point of concern. Where are they coming from? Are they just like drifting out of there? Now, one thing we could do, which would be amusing, is if we find something like Nilfa's Boast and start improving the amount of damage that our meteor drops do. It wouldn't fit in with our end game plans, but it would be amusing. I'm pretty sure it's Nilfa's Boast, the boots, that do that. Conduit. Let's wait until we have a black hole available just to make sure. Okay, all of them gone. More death breaths. Bang! So many death breaths. That's alpha striking in the extreme.
Ready yet.
What a brilliant use of a conduit shrine. Yeah, that wall is in like just the wrong place. Also, ouch on the poison and not really having any maneuverability. Yeah, this kind of place when there's things that are spitting ranged attacks at you can be troublesome. Luckily they don't have much health, and we're also ranged ourselves, of course. I do feel like this is so much more survivable than Torment 11. It's like night and day. Right, let's explode and start clearing some of these out. Ow! The Alcon mode for the extra damage reduction as well is pretty handy. It's not quite a get out of jail card, but it does function in a very similar way. And then we just go back to what we were doing before. Okay, so we found our happy place. Torment 10 is our happy place. The other thing is the damage boost that we get from Bane of the Powerful. If we're too high up the difficulty level, then it'll take us too long to kill stuff, so we don't get that damage boost, which in turn means it's harder to kill the next thing. So it very quickly cascades away from you if you're not watching what's going on in that particular way. Oops. Accidentally pressed Archon mode, so I guess we are exploding at things. Not get caught by those. As much as I love the succubi. Getting murdered by their ranged attacks is not on my list of things to do today. Also not be in there. That's a lot of elemental damage they're putting out, and I can't really do much to offset it. Oh, and another guy. All right, let's focus on you then, mate. We're retreating forwards, but it's fine. Because it's all part of a plan. Okay, are you done? And his little innards are done as well. Oh, I want that. Here we go. See, this level of hazard management I can handle. Torment 11 with that entry, it was just a bit too much. We'll gradually get there, but we're not in any rush. I think this is only episode, what, 12? I think 12. If it's not canonically 12, I'm calling it 12. Let's get fire on them. Start them really burning down. There we go. Still getting lots of good levels. Yeah, it's definitely something that we will find. The balance between offense and defense. It'll probably swing slightly more offense most of the time, but the moment defense becomes a problem, we do just need to backpedal a little. Because that wasn't just like a little brown trousers moment that happened on Torment 11. That was, yeah, this entire thing is going to be unmanageable if we carry on at this level. we go. Set them on fire. Move into the next section. This entire area is actually quite large. And it feels it as well. It feels like the map's really sprawled on longer than I would expect it to. Not always a bad thing, of course, but if it's the type of tile set that you're not particularly fond of, it does feel like a bit of an effort. Wow, he smacked me right in the face just when my damage reduction cut out. That was a little bit painful. Luckily not quite enough to cut into everything we were doing, but painful enough for us to be aware. We do have a really nice life on here, which is doing us wonders at the moment. No thank you. Ooh, hello. What's that? That's a source. Oh, etched sigil. I guess I will find out once and for all. The damage of your energy twister is increased. And you cast energy. Well, I mean, that's... interesting in itself. Okay, let's put this back because that needs to be sensible. I wanted to very quickly look and say, hypothetically, there is a fire energy twister. Or we could go for the massive one. Let's... And it actually appears where I've got my mouse cursor. Okay, so we now need to put the furnace in the cube, and we are retiring Archon for the moment. For the moment. This is going to be a new play technique for us. When we're done with this. So we're going to need to find another level 70 weapon that we want to use, which is fine. I mean, we were going to do this anyway. Maybe it's time we start gambling for wands. That's actually probably a pretty good idea. So the reason we would use the arcane one for the moment is because of the extra damage time. Oh, actually, maybe not arcane. Maybe it'd be lightning. I think lightning's the one that we're not getting because it's our armor doing the damage, not us. So we would do that. And then later we would change across to the fire one, because the fire one would then just do extra damage because of our Firebird set. So it would play into that as well. This is going to be enough to kick off the Rift Guardian once we get in safely.
The Rift Guardian has found you.
Really, it should be a lightning one. Hey! It worked well enough. Okay. So, back to town we go. How many death breaths have we got? 48. 48 is enough for us to upgrade something. We've got a wand here. Let's upgrade it.
A good choice.
Well, so we're doing a little bit less damage at the moment. I'm going to extract the power from the furnace. We're definitely going to do that. So we're doing a little bit less damage. We're doing a lot less recovery. But we are doing more disintegrate damage. And we've got this going for us. So I think it's going to work out for us. Right. Extract power. Let's not extract this one. Let's extract the other one. And we'll hold on to that just in case. Think smarter, not harder. Okay. So, furnace. Increases damage against elites by 50%. It's just a flat good thing. We've seen how useful it is. This needs to go to the Storm Chaser one? No. Okay, so if we have this as arcane, we can change our black hole across for the supermassive. So that gives us fire, lightning, arcane, and cold. And they should all be fine. What's our life per hit at the moment? 17k. That's good enough, I'd say. Do we want to do any rerolls on this? That actually looks okay. Do we want to do any rerolls on this? Maybe reroll that shock pulse damage into anything else. Such as vitality. That'll do for the moment. It doesn't need to be amazing, but that's a pretty significant boost. So salvage these up. Drop our gems off, and then I think we'll give this a go and see how terrible it feels. But yeah, the prospect of knocking them together into like a massive one
Not yet. What does one say?
is actually pretty appealing.
I suppose you start with hello.
And we can start empowering. Why not? Still only hitting 3 damage types.
They should have run when they had the chance.
It's definitely working well though. Oh, if I cast it manually. Let's see if I cast it manually. Okay, so we're just going to need to periodically cast it manually. Which does defeat the whole point in the Etched Sigil, and it's a little bit of an annoyance from the way the set works, but I do understand it. But that has given us a bit of a damage boost. So it's worth it. Hey Amos. Let's transition across so people can see you. What are you shouting about? Yeah, I can work with this for the moment. And Snorlax's madness giving us that damage boost is actually just going to make these things feel a bit more like farming. I hope that the Firebird set doesn't rely on me casting the skill rather than like the Etched Sigil casting it, because that would be a shame. I mean, we'd still be able to do it, but it would definitely change how I approach it. Although we were talking about using the Blizzard skill for it, weren't we? So maybe it's all a moot point anyway. Right on top of that was a little bit painful, even with all of our damage reduction. I'm going to have to look at the Twisted Sword. That's something I should consider. What does the Twisted Sword do? I completely forget. So where are we going? We're going around that way. Yeah, we don't need to hit a mob with the skill. We just need to cast a skill. Which is good, because it means we can build ourselves up before we encounter stuff. A little bit good. Right, he's going to pop. Let's back away just a tiny bit. Splat you guys. We've got plenty of time left. Yeah, when we get more of the Firebird set, we're definitely going to be running these encounters differently. Because at the moment I'm going in with the other skills, but we'll want the damage reduction from making sure that something's been set on fire. It's like 80% damage reduction, so it's pretty significant.
See me now. Not ready yet.
Ow. Right in the back. Wasn't paying attention for just one moment. This screen does end up really busy while doing this. And we're almost permanently below the threshold for Aquila Cuirass at the moment. Ooh, channeling. It was a little bit painful being up close and personal, but we didn't need to teleport away from it, so it wasn't too bad. I am noticing that I'm getting a little bit of jumping around. I don't know if that's the server or the mobs. It does worry me though. Okay, pretty straightforward. Bracers and a helm and the gem of toxin. Okay, well the points are going to go in Bane of the Traps because that's where our money's at. That's Veer's helmet that's just come out of there.
I am returning to town.
So if it's good, we could actually change across to it. And we got 12 levels from that. Definitely better running at higher difficulties. Yeah, Viz really needs all 6 pieces in order to be worthwhile at all. That doesn't emanate, so there's no point in us moving it across. I'll put it down here just in case we decide to do something with it. Gem of Toxin. Coming across to here. Beers is going to go in and... Ooh. Oh, Custodian wrist guards. I do like Custodian wrist guards. But I think I prefer having Nemesis on our lovely Cormac. Okay, well we've got plenty of blood shards, so let's have a very quick chat with Kadala about rings just before we finish. Leoric Signic, not what we wanted, so we'll salvage these up. But I'm afraid we are actually out of time for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. As always, if you... Oh no, it's Broken Promises, not Leoric's. As always, if you have enjoyed this, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of Diablo 3. See you soon.